I never imagined the most beautiful day of my son's life would become the day. My entire world cracked open and revealed a darkness I never saw coming. My name is Elena, and for nearly 3 decades I poured every piece of my heart into building a home filled with love, trust, and quiet joys. My husband Marcus and I raised our son Liam in a house where laughter echoed more than arguments, where Sunday dinners met warmth and belonging. We weren't rich, but we were rich in love. And then Sophia entered our lives like a gentle spring breeze. Or so I thought. The morning of the wedding, sunlight spilled through the tall windows of the bridal suite like liquid gold. I stood behind Sophia, carefully fastening the delicate pearl buttons along the back of her gown. My fingers trembled with happy tears as I adjusted her veil. She turned to me, her eyes sparkling, and whispered, "Elena, you're not just gaining a daughter-in-law today. You're gaining a daughter. I promise I'll love Liam the way he deserves." I pulled her into my arms, breathing in the scent of her jasmine perfume, believing every word. How could I not? She had been with us for 3 years, thoughtful, charming, always remembering birthdays and bringing Marcus his favorite coffee when she visited. Downstairs, the garden venue was a fairy tale. White roses and soft lavender filled the air with sweetness. Guests in elegant dresses and crisp suits mingled under string lights that twinkled even in daylight. Marcus looked so handsome in his tailored gray suit, though I could see the proud nervousness in the way he kept straightening his tie. And Liam, oh my beautiful boy, tall and steady, with kind eyes that had always held so much light. He stood near the altar, smiling softly as he waited for his bride. My heart felt so full it could burst, but life has a way of hiding shadows. Just beyond the light, I had stepped outside near the service entrance to check on the caterers when I heard it, her voice. Sophia's voice. That same sweet tone I had come to cherish, but edged with something cold and mocking I had never heard before. "Oh, look. The handyman is here." I paused behind the half-open wooden door, hidden by climbing ivy. There, in the shaded corner by the garden wall, stood a man I didn't recognize. Rough hands, worn work boots, a simple navy shirt stretched across broad shoulders, and a toolbox resting at his feet. His face was weathered, with a smirk that mirrored hers. Sophia stood close to him, too close, her elegant wedding gown brushing against his dirty jeans. The man chuckled, low and familiar. "Told you I wouldn't miss this show, babe. You look good enough to eat in that dress." Sophia laughed softly, the sound like breaking glass to my ears. "Just stay out of sight for now. Once this is done, we'll have everything we planned." I felt my stomach twist. My hand pressed against the stone wall for support. Before I could move or speak, footsteps approached from the other side. Liam, my son, walked calmly toward them, his expression unreadable. He looked at the stranger, then at Sophia, and with a small, almost gentle smile, he said, "Dad, stay calm." He wasn't speaking to Marcus. The world spun. My breath caught in my throat. I stepped back, pressing myself against the cool wall as my knees threatened to give way. Dad? Why was my son calling this rough stranger Dad? And why did Sophia look at him with that victorious, possessive little smirk, the kind a woman gives a lover, not the handyman crashing her wedding day? I wanted to scream. I wanted to rush forward and demand answers. But something, a mother's instinct, sharp and ancient, kept me frozen in place. In that single shattering moment, I knew the betrayal had roots far deeper than this sunny wedding morning. And I knew my son had been carrying secrets heavier than I could imagine. The ceremony went ahead. I smiled through the photos. I hugged relatives. I watched Sophia walk down the aisle in slow motion, her arm linked with her father's, while my mind screamed in silence. Every vow they exchanged felt like a knife twisting deeper into my chest. "For better or worse," Liam said, his voice steady. Sophia's eyes glistened with what looked like tears of joy. But I had seen the truth behind the curtain, That day marked the beginning of my unraveling, and the beginning of the strength I never knew I possessed. The reception blurred around me like a fever dream. Laughter, clinking glasses, the first dance where Liam held Sophia close under the soft lights. I moved through it all like a ghost, smiling when expected, but inside I was breaking. Every time Sophia glanced toward the back of the room where the handyman lingered near the lighting crew, pretending to work, that cruel little smirk would flicker across her perfect lips. Later that evening, I finally pulled Liam into a quiet hallway away from the music. My hands cupped his face, searching his eyes, those eyes I had looked into since the day he was born. "Liam, please. Tell me what's happening. Who is that man? Why did you call him Dad?" He looked at me with such deep sorrow it stole my breath. "Mom, I love you. I need you to trust me more than you've ever trusted me before. Just get through today. I'll explain everything when we're home tonight. I promise. Please don't say anything yet." His voice cracked just slightly, and in that crack I saw the weight he had been carrying alone. I nodded, tears burning my eyes, and let him go back to his bride. But the pain settled deep in my bones. Over the next few weeks, the truth came out in painful fragments. Sophia had never loved Liam the way we believed. She had been with Jake, the handyman, for years before she even met my son. Jake was her real partner, the father of a child she had hidden from everyone. A man with a shady past, debts, and a hold over her that went beyond love. It was a toxic, manipulative bond. She saw Liam as the perfect cover. Kind, stable, successful, with a family that would provide the lifestyle she craved. She played the role beautifully, Sunday brunches helping me in the kitchen, calling Marcus Dad with that sweet smile. Liam had discovered the affair 4 months before the wedding. He found messages, hotel bookings, even videos. Instead of exploding in rage or calling off the wedding publicly, he made a choice. He protected us. He smiled through every planning meeting. He laughed at family dinners. He looked into Sophia's eyes and whispered how excited he was for their future, while secretly documenting everything. Bank transfers she had tried to hide. Conversations where she mocked us. Plans to drain his accounts once they were legally married. The nights after the wedding were the darkest I had ever known. I would lie awake beside Marcus, my body shaking with silent sobs. How did I not see it? I whispered to the ceiling. How did I welcome her into our home? Call her my daughter? Marcus held me, but he was breaking too. The man who had worked 2 jobs so Liam could have a good education now felt like a fool. I replayed every moment. The way Sophia would sometimes disappear for errands, the expensive gifts she suddenly afforded, the way she avoided certain questions about her past. I felt shattered, exposed. My trust had been weaponized against the people I loved most. But watching Liam, something began to shift inside my broken heart. He wasn't crumbling. He was quiet, focused, and carrying a quiet fury that burned cold. One late night in the kitchen, with only the refrigerator light glowing, he sat across from me and took my hands. "Mom, she thinks she played us all. She thinks we're weak. But I planned this. The wedding gave her exactly what she wanted, the legal marriage. And now we take it all back." His strength became mine. The pain was still there, raw and bleeding, but beneath it, a new resolve was growing. Revenge didn't arrive with screams or broken dishes. It arrived quietly, like the turning of a tide. During their honeymoon, while Sophia posted glowing photos from a tropical paradise, Liam was on calls with lawyers, accountants, and investigators. Every piece of evidence he had gathered was locked and loaded. When they returned, tanned and smiling, he waited until their first morning in the new house. He placed the divorce papers on the breakfast table beside her coffee. Sophia laughed at first, tossing her hair. "Liam, what is this? A joke after our perfect wedding?" Then he played the recordings. Her voice, clear and mocking, laughing with Jake about how pathetic we all were. How easy it was to fool that boring family. How she would empty the accounts and leave once everything was legally hers. The confession about their hidden child. The plans they had made for years. Sophia's face drained of color. The smirk, that signature smirk, finally shattered. Jake tried to intervene days later. He showed up at the house angry and threatening, but Liam had already pulled the necessary strings. Old warrants resurfaced. Evidence of fraud and past crimes was delivered to the right authorities. Jake was taken away in handcuffs that same week. The divorce was swift and merciless. The prenup Sophia had signed so confidently, believing it would never matter, left her with nothing but the consequences of her choices. She lost the house, the cars, the lifestyle, and the reputation she had so carefully built. Friends and family turned away as the truth spread. The woman who had smirked at our family's trust now faced the world alone. Healing for us took time. There were months of tears, therapy sessions, and quiet evenings where we simply sat together as a family, learning to breathe again. But slowly, the light returned. Liam met a woman named Claire, gentle, honest, with a laugh that felt real. No secrets. No games. Just love. 1 year later, we gathered for a simple family dinner. No grand venue. Just our old dining table, home-cooked food, and genuine smiles. I looked at my son and felt peace wash over me like a warm tide. The bride had smirked that day, believing she had won. She thought she could destroy our family with her lies. But what she didn't understand was the power of real love, the kind that bends under pressure but does not break, the kind that turns pain into purpose. If there is one lesson I want to leave with you, dear listener, it's this: betrayal will wear a beautiful mask. It will speak soft words and make you feel chosen. But when the mask falls, remember your worth. Protect your heart fiercely. Lean on the people who truly love you. And know that the strongest revenge is not destruction. It is rising above it, healing, and building a life so beautiful that the betrayers can only watch from the outside.